Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Summer 2020. I'm Atlas, joined by Wadid for the final series of the season, for the regular season at least. We still, of course, have playoffs and the regional gauntlet to go. The Team Dynamics and Hanwha Life still have one more match in them for the 2020 season. And it's the last we're going to see of them until they potentially get into franchising for 2021. So it's a bit of a say goodbye style of match here today.
Long time. Yeah, it's gonna be a long time, and we need to see them next year, right? So it's gonna be. I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but still, LCK fans are watching, global fans are watching. Everyone is looking at them. Maybe some teams really want to pick up them, or they want to develop around one player, so they need to prove themselves. Still, there is still cast for them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that they need to go out with a bang. You know, we've been talking about especially a lot of the Dynamics players throughout this year. Rich, especially towards the top side of the map, he has had some pop-off games, but unfortunately hasn't necessarily been able to get them towards the top of the standings, as we're going to go over the points of the match. The last match of 2020 LCK Summer. Like I was talking about before, Dynamics picked up 1 victory after 4 defeats. And Hanwha Life picked up 7 defeats after 1 victory. Not exactly the greatest of news here for either of these teams. But Dynamics were at least able to pick up their last match win. And that is definitely good news for them.
Yeah. And also for freshmen Dynamics, they had such a dynamic journey, right? And then start of the split, they had such a great games and great performances. But after that, when they met strong teams, then they randomly fall out, right? So they just need to prove themselves that they are still deserve to be in LCK, even though it's not about performance, right? Franchise, but still they need to give some impact towards the fans, and that will make a lot of fans happier.
And we were also talking about it being Tarzan's birthday today. 2 of his former teammates in Viper and Lahenz are going to be playing, and we'll see whether they can pick up a victory on behalf of their friend's birthday. Of course, I think all of us miss Tarzan, which is why I keep bringing it up, because we're going to check out the team stats. None of these are going to be too fantastic, but first Dragon percentage, not too bad for either of these teams. Both of them equal 4th place on 52.6%.
Yeah.
It's very strange. Exactly the same amount of first Dragons.
Yeah, HLE, their performance got improved, right? When they were losing every single game, everyone was not expecting them to do something. But actually, after some games, when they were already fixed for 9th and 10th, they randomly got changed, maybe because of the player change. Dudu and Mir, those players, they played so much better than before. And also there is new jungler, Youngjae. There is so many changes, but for Dynamic, there's not many choices that you can do with the players. But yeah, I mean, their performance got improved as well. And especially, I want to focus on Kuzan. And maybe many people can just focus on Rich, but I think this player was one of the reasons why Dynamics was strong enough in the earlier split.
And also definitely a reason as to why they were strong in Challenger as well. I mean, Kuzan basically won MVP of the split before they were promoted into the LCK. So I think you're exactly right. I think Kuzan gets overlooked a little bit more than he maybe should. As over the side of Hanwha Life, we've got Cad making his way in yet again. The Canadian dollar, seeing whether it's going to be up to snuff in this particular game, as Dudu, Miru, Viper, and Lahenz, of course, are not going to be changed. But Youngjae, look, he was okay, but he didn't do a lot of winning. So maybe bringing Cad back in is going to be the right move here, as Dokdam versus Viper is going to be our matchup. As, look, not the greatest of stats, but CS percent between 15 and 30 minutes is an interesting one, because Viper definitely gets funneled in the mid to late game.
So he's getting everything for his team, and his teammates are just funneling Viper, as you mentioned, but it's not working out. The damage percentage is not 100% for his team, and when Hanwha Life was doing great, it was about top side. Mir was smurfing with the Silas, for example, and even though you have great bot laners, top side should do something in the early game and at least try to fight those objectives for the bot lane, they need some farm. if you want to do something. So yeah, the draft will matter a lot in this game.
Well, let's see what happens as we are into said draft. Dynamics immediately going to ban away Miru's favorite champion in the Galio. Let's see what Hanwha Life are going to focus on as Zoe is going to hit the bench. Kuza not going to be on that one this time around.
Yeah, and
we'll see whether it's going to be the Lucian ban coming in next.
Normally when you play against Hanwha Life Esports, you ban Galio, and there is one more, Silas.
Yeah,
so,
true.
I'm wondering if there is going to be another mid ban.
Well, there's the Lucian ban that I was talking about up
Okay.
against Rich and Kuzan, as Set is going to leave also. Hanwha Life, we'll see whether they have a look towards the bottom side. Theoretically, only the Lucian has been banned from there, although he's more of a solo lane pick. But no, the TF taken away from Kuzan here is now Dynamics have the opportunity of heading towards a Caitlyn if they would like to.
Yeah.
Seen her banned all day, actually.
And also, so many good picks are available. For example, like Volibear, Ashe, Caitlyn. Most of the picks that the strong team, Western teams are banning is actually opened. So we might see like OP wars right here. For example, Caitlyn insta-lock from Hanwha Life Esports.
Yep, and Azir there as well for a lot of mid to late game power. In these two picks alone, Dynamics now with their ability to counterpick either mid lane or bot lane if they would like to, as Ashe off in the consideration. It looks like that is where Doc Dom's going to be going.
Yeah.
They did like the Ashe Pantheon, but they didn't do a lot of winning with it, so we'll see whether that is something that they are going to consider.
Yeah, I think for Dynamics, Ashe is enough. Maybe Pantheon is too much for Cougar. And when he was doing some engage supports, playmaking supports, they were doing great. So I think they shouldn't look for winning lane. I think they should look for 50-50 and just look for the roam fights with Lehans in the mid lane. So and Kuzan, such aggressive.
That's an old favorite.
Yeah. I mean,
It was definitely a great LeBlanc player in the past.
True.
Wow, this would be an interesting pickup as we're going ultra late game if the Ornn is going to be locked in. Hanwha Life wanting to settle in. But no, we're taking a completely different tack as the Olaf is locked in for Cat.
yeah. I mean, if you pick Ornn, the team color is just completely getting changed, right? Normally, when you think about the Caitlyn and Azir, it's all about the early game prior. But if you pick up Ornn, it feels like you need to do something a lot in the early game. Otherwise, the top side is going to be crashed. So I think Olaf choice is still fine. One of the favorite matchup for both sides, like Volibear Olaf. So I think it depends on mid lane matchup, which is LeBlanc versus Azir. And I think Kuzan choose to play this matchup, so I'm wondering if it's like working out, if it's gonna work out for Dynamics. And
It's always been an interesting matchup, the
Yeah.
LeBlanc versus Azir. Theoretically, Azir is going to have shove potential in the early game, but Kuzan being able to get a few points into his distortion so he can clear out minion waves that are shoved into him and then roam should be a way that Dynamics can use the pick power that their comp already has. As Jace is going to be taken away, Rich, a couple of his favorites are going to be removed. His Aatrox is still up, guys, but he hasn't played it in a very long time.
yeah,
And of course, Aatrox has fallen out of favor.
maybe
Dynamics might just ban Lux here.
yeah, or maybe look for ban for top side, which is Dudu's favorite champion, Wukong.
Ooh, true. You could get rid of that one if they would like to. See where they do go, as Wukong, like you say, is going to be taken off the board. So I like it, just targeting some of the good options here.
Yeah, comfort picks.
Yep. Renekton. Of course.
Safety. But I
Yep,
think
he's up.
Yeah, Renekton is actually really good because if you want to counter Renekton, you need to pick something like really aggressive, like Queen or something its range, right? But those champions are they are actually
They're all
difficult to
banned.
play. Yeah,
They're all banned. Lucian, Cannon, and Jace all banned away.
yeah, and it's really hard to play Queen into Renekton still, you know.
Yeah, we've seen it not work, even in the hands of some of our better top laners. So I actually don't like the Quinn. I feel like it screws up your team comp a little bit too much for it to be worth it, having a winning lane that doesn't necessarily always always win anyway.
Yeah.
As Gangplank is an age-old counter pick into the Renekton. And I love it. We've actually seen it not work a lot, actually. But it should. As Aatrox comes down. Oh my god, he did it. Okay, Rich, let's see what you can do.
Yes, they are hungry for the win, I guess. And I think it's still fine against Renekton. And here we go. Shen for Lihans. One of the
classic.
Classic, yeah. And
you loved this pick.
But I'm not sure about the Caitlyn Shen synergy on the bot side, though.
Yeah, I mean, is there Caitlyn Shen synergy? I don't know.
I mean, if you time perfectly, then you can combo with the trap. But I think they're just mainly picking it for the top side. Caitlyn is gonna most likely have the lane prior, right? And it's gonna active Lihans to roam to mid lane or top lane. It's gonna help the top side. So, which means the main part of the game is still top side, right? Even though you have great AD carry. So I think it's still great approach, but yeah, as you mentioned, questionable the synergy between Caitlyn Shen. But for dynamics, they're all mixed, balanced, and classic comfort. So I think all those words are fitting in to that team comp. So I think it really depends on how they use their early game power with LeBlanc, Volibear, Ashe, and Nautilus. They should be able to snowball from the early game, and it depends how you play against Azir in the mid lane, especially. It's up to Kuzan.
We'll see whether Kuzan can do it. Azir is going to have the shove. Renekton should be able to shove out the Aatrox, but it's Rich's Aatrox, so I don't know necessarily what that's going to mean.
Yeah.
I think the junglers are going to have a lot of part to play. And I think that, you know, once Shen has hit level 6, things like that, it's going to get better for Hanwha Life. Let's see how it goes as we hop onto the Rift for Game 1 of our final series of the season.
Yeah. I mean, the problem for Hanwha Life Esports is that they have no proper engage tool, right? They have like Olaf, Shen, Azir, Renekton, which is like such a great fighters, but they're not engage masters, right? So if they when they wanna fight in a great position, maybe it cannot be happening and just getting poked down by LeBlanc. So they just need to play smarter than any other normal games.
Let's see how they go as Guga he's taking a bit of damage already. But Hanwha Life just move on over, get some vision. And some pings go out there from Hanwha Life just to ask Dudu whether he's seen anyone.
Yeah.
And he hasn't, as they do have vision in the area. So red buff is going to remain without any wards on it. The early game pretty calm. Having a look at the Azir runes, he's taken the Electrocute this time. We have seen a bit of the Hail of Blades Azir recently. But Electrocute just to make sure that he has the burst damage up against Kuzan, who's gone with Ignite Electrocute himself. So 100% trying to kill his opponent.
Yeah, such aggressive rune settings from both mid laners, I can say. It's actually same. Completely same. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just with a little bit of switch around as far as order. But otherwise, it's exactly the same. Let's see who's going to be able to use them the most effectively. As Biscuit, Delivery, and Time Warp Tonic just to make sure that they've got as much sustain in this lane as possible.
Yeah. Purely focused on laning phase, and because of that, their bot laners can be like effective. So mid lane is really, really important, and also for the junglers, Volibear Olaf matchup, they're actually fine for both, right? So that means mid lane affects a lot in this jungle matchup.
Oh yeah.
So
the jungle could also affect the lanes a lot as well, especially when we're looking at top lane, things like that, both of these players wanting to get ahead. So let's see if this early game is going to work out as Cad. Not going to see the bear walking past. And Dudu is shoved very far forward. This could be an opportunity for Beyond as Dudu goes aggressive at probably the wrong time. Dice is away. Beyond still looking for it. There's the Storm Strike as Dudu takes a whole bunch of his health bar, and Beyond is just going to walk away saying, "You're welcome." As at least Dudu does hold on to his flash.
It's Cat's timing right now because he's ahead in jungle lane. So he's gonna pressure Beyond in the jungle right now. And
Rift Scuttler should theoretically go over to Cad, but he's just going to move away. And you can see Kuzan, he had the inside track, so that's why Cad had to move out of the way, as he is going to steal away the Rift Scuttler. Beyond taking a lot of damage, has to flash as Kuzan moves over. But the chains will land there onto Miru. That's a very interesting shifting sands. Not sure what the idea was there as Undertow comes down. Passive comes out, second Undertow lands, and Cad, he's got his eye in here today.
Yeah, and Hanwha Live Esports, they're pressuring top and bot at the same time, so the Skull Crab on the both sides just got controlled by Hanwha Live. It's just so clean. And you remember when Hanwha Live Esports just stomped one of the team with the perfect rotation? It reminds me one of the game, actually.
Yeah, well, I still think that Hanwha Live do have a lot of potential, but they just haven't been able to find it here in this season. It's been a bit of a depressing time for this squad. Let's see whether this game can be some redemption for them. As they are getting a decent shove towards the bottom side. Peacemaker doing a bunch of work there onto Dokdam. And Viper does walk away with a few CS in the lead. Rich with the lane in a good position, but Dudu's still trading quite nicely, slicing out of the way of those infernal chains. I love it. It's Rich, so of course the Aatrox comes back.
Yeah.
Back from the dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's an okay matchup against Renekton if you are good at Aatrox. And Rich is obviously good at Aatrox, so it should be fine. The vision control from Hanwha Live Esports. That means Caitlyn can push whenever he wants, wherever he wants. Great vision control by them.
Yep. And, Dredgeline going to land there from Guga. Aftershock keeps him alive as well, so he's going to be absolutely fine. And in goes Cad once again. Rich trying to get out of there with the Umbral Dash, and he's going to be caught by the stun. I have a feeling this is a very dead Aatrox, and yes, he's not even going to flash. First blood goes to Renekton, and this could be the beginning of the end of the top lane.
Yeah, this is the reason why it's still hard matchup for Aatrox. You need to be good at lane control, otherwise you're going to get ganked, and you cannot do anything. Unless you are level 6 having a Death Dance on you, but it's level 5 with Ninja Tabis. So,
yeah.
Clean gank by Cad. He was controlling both sides, and after that, he's controlling top side as well. So, he's everywhere, actually.
Doing a great job on this Olaf so far. He's actually back towards the top side. Remember, they didn't get the flash, but they didn't have to use flash either. As pings go out from Rich, he's like, why they be camping my lane? Those jerks.
Can they actually react to this?
On in.
Beyond this level 4, actually.
Well, there's the dice out. I believe Dudu just took a turret shot, so not really wanting the dive is now going to change their mind. Okay, that's some good knockups onto Rich, who's level 6 now, does have the World Ender, but they're not able to tank up the turret for too much longer. Guga turns up, like you were talking about. Exhaust goes down. Max range Dredgeline will connect as Kuzan's coming in, looking to see whether he can tidy this one up. And he should be able to do so as they want to deliver the kill over to Rich, but Kuzan does get it in the end.
Such a smart move from bot lane, but how about your AD carry? That's the point.
Well, that's the flash forward, but it's a good cleanse out of Dokdam to get himself to safety. And it looks like they should be able to zone him out of the way of a large amount of these minions and get themselves some turret plates. So Hanwha Live answering back as best as they could.
Yep. Some trade. I mean, because of the matchup, they needed to help a lot, and here we go.
Yeah, Mirror trying to get out of here now. His flash available. Kuzan's not so much, as he's only on 150 health. Beyond just here to try and help the LeBlanc, as he does get that siege minion. Thank goodness.
Such a great escape way by Mir. And also because of that, he got enemy jungle's tempo. Cat is really free to hit the Drake. And using a bot pressure as well. So just in general, Hanwha Live Esports, they are just snowballing the game slowly and cleanly.
I like it. 1,000 gold in the lead at the moment, like you were talking about, picked up the first Drake, and they will be rewarded with an Infernal coming in next. Mountain or Ocean Soul to come down after that, and Dudu play this very nicely. being able to get there with the slice, the dice, stunning up the Aatrox, and then there was no way that he was ever going to escape, Humble Dash or no. This was a valiant effort by Rich, actually, being able to chunk out Dudu so early. And avoiding that undertow as well was definitely good news.
Yeah.
As Guga played like a hero. This dredge line, man. Hitbox or no hitbox. Absolutely fantastic.
And the top side again.
Yeah, we're going for another fight. As Dudu going down very low. Beyond gets himself a decent shield. But Lehens, he has Stand United, so he's going to be able to save his top laner quite comfortably. As HLE was started, but not actually completed there, as we saw in the picture-in-picture.
Yeah. The thing is, when you use your Shen support's ultimate in a defensive way, it's not effectable. So I think that was great play by Dynamics. But at the same time, he didn't die, so it is okay, I guess. So, I mean, Shen is kind of forced to be around here, and still Nautilus is level 5, so I guess they want to take the fight here.
Yep, they're going to leave Caitlyn towards the bottom side of the map. As you can see, he's just going to try and shove in, take some more of these turret plates, as Hanwha Life are also going to be starting this one. Arrow is going to connect onto Dudu there quite nicely, as Rich trying to turn it, grabs the kill onto the Crocodile, and walks into the brush, will actually escape, as Kuzan also able to pick up Cad. And now Dynamics turning this game all the way on its head, and also Shelly turning around and going back home. Which is not necessarily the greatest of news, but this is what happens. I mean, Hanwha Life a little bit too greedy, wanting to take both bot lane priority and the Rift Herald.
Yeah, for sure, because they should have known that Ashe was just moving towards topside with just giving up some creeps, but they were just still looking for the fight. And even starting up the header was kind of greedy play, and it was not that like huge pressure that they had. It was like a small pressure that they have because of the rotation. So they were greedy about it, so they got punished.
Well, Lehens moving into the enemy jungle will start off this red buff. But I think they want to dive more than that, as Guga is going to wander on over. Good volley. Will at least stop them from dying at this stage, but the turret not going to be so lucky, as, yeah, you don't want to be here, Guga. And Viper is very, very big right now.
He's really fat already because of the turret plates. He was just farming 24/7 on the turret. So
yeah. Well, having a look at this one again, that's a great arrow onto Dudu. No way that he could get out of it, as he didn't have time to throw out the slice. And just like we say, it was a bit greedy.
Yep. I mean, the call shoot came out from Viper. Or maybe they were not even thinking about it. Maybe they thought they could take the 4v5, but it seems like they were not ready to react to Ashe's ulti. I mean, if they were thinking about 4v5, they should call about Ashe's ultimate potential. And they should actually dodge it, because they have so many dashes and ultimates. It could actually soak Ashe's ultimate, right? But it was not ready at all, so we can see that it was not prepared, it was not planned. But it's still okay, I guess, because Viper is bad.
Yeah, and we'll see whether Viper can hard carry. We know that he does like to take as many resources as possible as the game goes on. As Dudu is setting up shop here towards the bottom side of the map. Docdom doing his best to grab as many plates as he possibly can with the help of Guga and Beyond. See whether they can actually make this dive work as the ulti comes down. Arrow, the chain CC is pretty good, and the slows from the Ashe certainly working out. As Lehens is going to turn up, but the Crocodile's still going to die. As this turret is getting pretty mad. Still not really going to work out, as there's the flash out from Beyond. And they are going to be safe. So good dive there from Dynamics, who are currently 4-1 as far as kill score, and still behind.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting kills, but the outcome is not actually that great. They are annoying Renekton on the top side, but it is not enough to have a great snowball in. And I felt like Dudu misplayed under the turret. He didn't need to flash at that timing because Shen could save him from the auto attacks, but I think that was kind of unsafe. But at the same time, Dynamics, it is true that they are getting some advantages, right? With kills, but objective controls are on Hanwha Life Esports, and the point is they need to stop Caitlyn.
Yeah. And she's 30 CS in the lead still. And now shoving alongside her mid laner, which is suboptimal. But let's have a look at this one once again. Speaking of suboptimal.
Yeah.
I mean, Dudu does get the stand united, but it doesn't keep him alive.
I mean, I think maybe the second dash with the Renekton's slice was not necessary. The flash was enough, and then he could save it till the last because of the Shen. But I think it was a little bit of misplay.
Yeah. As Beyond actually gets all of those turret plates. Unfortunately for Doctor, I'm not able to get in range to get that. The Ashe would have very much liked to have some of that money. Slightly unfortunate, but at least someone gets the money.
Yeah.
Beyond is really far behind, though.
Yeah.
In the jungle, Cat is just power farming.
I mean, also in the early game, when Cat was level 6, Beyond was level 4, so which means that Volibear is just losing so hard in the jungling. And that's why Volibear really wants to make a lot of situations, a lot of plays. But yeah, I mean, even though Beyond is actually doing it, the goal difference, objective control, map control is still on Hanwha Esports side. So that's the dilemma. You cannot jungle in. You need to make a lot of plays, but you're still behind. So they should make some play as a team. I don't think it's all up to Beyond. I think it's up to all the members from Dynamics, which is like Ashe and Nautilus. They are not mobile, but still having a great engage tool, right? And then LeBlanc can always jump into the fight. So I think they should help their jungler to make him back in the game.
And they're going to need to, because Cad's gone full damage as well on this Olaf. It's going to be the warrior variety. And so not going to be as useless in this mid-game as a lot of our Olafs have been, especially once that Black Cleaver does come in. All of that CDR certainly going to be helping him out. And yeah, it's going to be very scary, especially for someone like Ashe, who doesn't have any answer to the Olaf almost whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad that this Ashe is not having a Essence River, because you can just spam ultimate and just look for the opportunities, and which is actually really needed for a Dynamics. That's a little bit sad, but it's okay. You are still Ashe. So just pull the trigger, make some situations, just get some of the spells are actually enough to release the pressure from them. So I think it is really needed from Dynamics right now.
Okay, Rich is going to get caught out of position here. Flashes out of the way as the Olaf did pop the Ragnarok, so certainly good news for Dynamics, not having to worry about that one. However, the flash being down on Rich means that he's not going to be able to keep pushing this wave so far up. It's a very, very long bottom lane at the moment as Kuzan takes the turret shot, but otherwise, he is controlling this lane quite well.
Yeah. That's the positive thing for Dynamics right now, because as I mentioned, there is not many of CCs from Hanwha Esports, right? Which means LeBlanc can freely poke them down and look for some cut-out plays. So I think it really depends on Kuzan's performance right now, and he is actually doing it. So they can actually take it slowly. They're getting some objectives, mech controls because of the Kuzan's trade. He's forcing enemy jungler to show up into the mid lane. So everything is going great, but the problem is when it comes to 1-3-1 situation like right now.
Yeah. As Dudu turns up top lane, he's going to clear that one out. And there's a lot of vision now for Dynamics. We actually were complimenting Hanwha for their vision. But top side of the map, definitely a lot of control now available for Dynamics. That was to set up their play around the Rift Herald that has now been taken as Beyond clears out this ward in the mid lane as well. Ocean Drake in 30 seconds time, and this is going to be one that Dynamics will have to fight for. Otherwise, the Dragon Snowball is going to be a little bit too out of control. And Dynamics also being able to pick up 4 Ocean Drakes, I mean, that's the dream.
I mean, they have Heathered right now, and they have the tempo from Aatrox from the top side right now. So I think they have better position Dynamics, so they can just take it slow, even though it's kind of forced. They need to fight for sure, but they can just take it slow, the fight. Kuzan is on the great position as well.
Yep. Oh, Vision is going to come up there. They throw down the ward in the brush, but Beyond, speaking of being in position, he certainly is. 2,000 health on him as well. Pretty comfy, but that headshot's still going to hurt. As, oh my god! What is this? Caitlyn's already done 1200 damage with like 2 abilities. Or 2 auto attacks. It's pretty ridiculous. As Kuzan, he's going to get caught out of position. As he connects the chains. Good snare onto Miru as in goes the fight as Cad picks up that first kill. The Crocodile also able to take down the Nautilus. Rich trying to fight this one out. As you can see, Doptom, he's pretty big. Kuzan trying to get in there, but he's not able to get anything done. And now it's Rich versus the world. Kuzan, I don't know whether he's even going to be able to get there as that Undertow somehow catching out the Aatrox. The flashboard from Miru, and he puts down Kuzan. Oh no, Rich into the brush, ace in the hole, and that is a dead Aatrox. And that's an ace already at 18.5 minutes.
Yeah, they got forced to fight because of the pressure about the soul point. But actually they had the great advantage. They could push mid lane with header, and Kuzan was on point. But I think the pulling the trigger timing was a little bit late because Kuzan got spotted, and Hanwha Live Esports, they could just poke them down with the Caitlyn as well. So I think if they just pulled the trigger 10 seconds earlier, when Kuzan was already there in a good position, everything could be different, but they were too late.
And Beyond was like already out of this fight before it even started, as he flashes in and then dies before he can even get any damage down with his ultimate.
Yeah, and even though Gugur got the 4-man ultimate, because of the redemption from Lee Hans, like everyone got saved. That was just insane.
Yep, Miru here pretty nicely able to lock down Kuzan as well. Not able to flash out of the Emperor's Divide. And yes, sniped in the face. And Aatrox actually tries to jump out of Summoner's Rift, which was interesting as he fell down. But now he's back on the Rift and moving down the bottom lane, as Viper is just tanking up every single jungle creep that he can find in his quest for the red buff. And now Hanwha Life getting control around the Baron that spawned about 7 seconds ago. And this is exactly the right game for Cad to be damage Olaf, by the way, because they're starting to snowball at exactly this time.
Yeah.
Certainly feels good. As Kuzan trying to trap the members of Hanwha here. There's no Renekton, and he has no teleport available either, so some possibilities here as Kuzan gets himself the hell out of there. Great knockups from Guga, who has to go golden. They just don't quite have the items. The redemption that you were talking about before is going to be fantastic, as in goes Kuzan, manages to lock down the kill onto Cat. Is now Rich trying to do it here in the backline. Viper going to get caught out. Lahen's going to follow suit, and Dynamics, they answer very nicely on the top side, as there's the ulti slam dunk there from Beyond, and they are also able to take down the turret.
Yeah, this is power of the outer mid turret, and because of that, their rotation was not clean at all. Hanwha Live Esports, their position. Okay, they're trying Nashor now, and it is actually possible because there is no TP, and there is only Dudu without flash. Can he actually stop it? I don't
know whether
so.
he was actually going to check, but then he saw the hawk shot, so he is going to be able to check this. Scryer's Bloom comes down, and they back away. Oh, man.
They do not, like, they don't have damage right now, I guess, because Ashe has no IE. Such a Nashor saver.
Yeah, that's why we get the big zoom. As we'll check out the fight one more time. Kuzan almost dies at the beginning of this one, and I wasn't expecting Dynamics to be able to make this work, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the reason why they put 4-man on the top side when there is still outer mid turret. Like, still, there is a mid first turret. You shouldn't look for a put many people on the side lane. Then you're gonna get collapsed or having a bad rotation. So that happened exactly, and that should just come out from Hanwha Live Esports. Just look for the mid turret first. Mid outer turret is the main problem when it comes to snowball in the mid game. So I guess the header play that they made at the Serrated Drake by Dynamics was impactful.
Yeah, seemed to work out. We do have Rapid Fire Cannon now completed for Viper, so he is a bit of a big boy. Looks like he's going double Zeal items for the classic crit Caitlyn. Oh no, that's just a cheeky dagger, so it could still be the Storm Razor to come in. As the very, very standard build. Especially here in Korea, we see a lot of IE into rapid fire cannons still. even though it's not necessarily the most popular elsewhere.
I mean, if you want an earlier game, a snowball, then you just go for Storm Racer first. But just remember, do you remember when Viper in the early game, like he got so much gold from the
he's still fed, right?
Yeah, so I think he should go for the IE first when you got so much gold like that. And it was actually popping off when Volibear just got hit by one trap. So they still have great damage, but it's all about teamfight positioning. If Caitlyn gets flanked by LeBlanc or Aatrox, the teamfight is gonna be just donezo. So the support from Azir is needed. Their engage is really bad. So that's the problem, but they should kite it out or need some insane engage by Lehans with flash on.
Well, let's see what they're going to be able to do here as the Ocean Drake is spawning. Hanwha, they really want to try and fight for this one. Ocean Soul is so valuable, but Kuzan off to the side. Stuns up the Shen. He's already at half health as the volley's actually doing a bunch of work. Depth charge still held on to here by Guga. Finally throws it out. It is going to be the Ashe that locks down the Dragon somehow, as the Crocodile's also going to die. Kuzan being a bit of a hero in the backline as Miru tries to get out of there. Lehens trying to be the hero, but he's just gonna die. Not gonna be too many of an option there, as the Emperor's Divide is at least gonna keep Viper alive. And he has a big old shield as well just before Lehens falls. And yeah, Viper, last man standing, not gonna be able to get anything this time around.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think he might also just die here as the trap comes in. He wants to take Guga with him, but he's not going to be able to. That's the ace, and this might just be the Baron for Dynamics, as this game is all over the place.
Yeah, the top play was just so critical, so that's why Dynamics could have better positioning, and this is the problem of the team composition. They have no engage tool. Their team fight is just way worse than Dynamics, and they were just way too tunneled on the for Drake as well. So there's one last chance with the Olaf Dash still, I guess, on live.
Well, we'll see whether he's going to be able to get in there. No flash, so, and also there's no blast cone. This is going to be very, very hard for Cad as Guga in the front line, just trying to make sure no one can get in here as Baron. They might just turn and try and burst it out as Rich throws down the World Ender. Cad goes golden. They might be able to just grab the Baron, and they do so. Kuzan also eliminates the jungler. Dudu flashing, slicing, dicing, but tagged by the volley and knocked up by the Qs from the Aatrox. And Docdam is going to get yet another kill. 16-9 is the kill score here at 25.5 minutes. It's a bloody game, and it's working out well for Dynamics.
Yeah, Dynamics in the early game, they were kind of behind because of the objective, but when you remember Damon Gaming, they were not caring about the Drake that much. They were caring about the fight, they were caring about the kills and map control, and that worked out again. Dynamics, they are following the meta.
Yeah, I like it. And also, look at Docdam. 5, 1, and 9. The 3 best items for an Ashe outside of maybe an Essence Reaver, which would have been really cool at this stage as well, but he is a very, very happy guy as the arrow's going to connect. The Observers didn't think that was going to land as Emperor's Divide. He's going to buy him some space, and he shifts some sands to get himself out of there. As Miro at least is going to survive, but doesn't have his ultimate anymore as Rich. Nope, I tell a lie. As he's not going to be taken down just yet. Oh my god, Rich, that was beautiful. Red buff is going to do it. Guga here might just fall as he's going to flash. As Rich is going to block the ulti. Redemption is going to kill him. As nice work from Lehens is going to get himself at least one back there, but you can see this game is really fallen apart for Hanwha Live.
Yeah. Every single skirmishes are just on Dynamics because of the item difference and team comp. How can you catch LeBlanc with this team comp? Answer me. And they are not able to answer this right now.
Nope. He's also got his flash. There are no flashes available on the side of Hanwha Life. This is the best time to be a LeBlanc ever, as Cad's going to run back to his fountain. In the meantime, Rich is just destroying the top inhibitor turret with absolutely no response from Hanwha Life at all. Maybe. Double buffs on the Aatrox.
And blue buff.
I don't know why, but like, Rich makes this champion relevant no matter what the meta is. It doesn't really matter. He's just an Aatrox god.
I mean, how can you stop this LeBlanc, by the way? So I think maybe they need to predict the LeBlanc's dash and look for CC chain, but it is not happening.
Oh, speaking of chains, the Infernal Chains pull back the Shen. Rich World Ender's there. Almost gets chunked down, and the Azir's going to be able to grab that kill. Emperor's Divide to throw them all back. A double kill there for Miro as Doc Dump also going to go down. Triple now for the Azir as Guga's trying to run away. Dudu wants to catch up. Miro looking to try and tag him with that red buff. But Hanwha Life not able to get the rest of the kills. Kuzan pops on over. It is a 3-for-2 trade, but it's in favor of Hanwha Life. That is going to buy them a lot of time.
I guess my game knowledge is not that great. How can they manage to lose this team fight, by the way?
I think they're just skilled, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think the point is Azir was really free as well. I mean, LeBlanc was slowly poking them down, so I think Dynamics, they could just play slow. And Google was not even here. I mean, they're just way too hasty. They really want to end the game fast, I guess. But they just need to take it slow. Kuzan is gonna carry the game alone. Just let him do his job.
And now, with 14 seconds to go, Hanwha Life do have some control over the Dragon Pit. Getting towards this Ocean Soul is going to be huge news for them if they can do it. They're missing a few inhibitor turrets, but it's not the end of the world. And they're only 4,000 gold behind.
It's Ocean Drake.
Yep, they're looking to try and burst it down. In goes Dynamics. World Ender comes down from Rich as they do secure the Ocean Soul, but can they win the fight afterwards? Lahens in the back of the pit as the red health bars are going very low. Emperor's Divide is going to clean up Dynamics. And you can see Viper still at full health, able to free hit. Guga's going to die. Double kill for the Caitlyn. And now in goes Miro trying to find more. Triple for Viper in the end. And it's only Kuzan that still stands.
I cannot believe what is happening right now. The game is so random, but on top of that, Mirror's focus is actually on point. Like, his teamfight potential is such a great with this Azir. Last time when he played Azir, like, he got some kills, but he didn't make some impact plays that Azir needed to do. But this time around, his shuffle is on point, I guess.
Yeah, that was sick. I think it was a 3-man ulti there, so we're going to have a look and double check as we check out the Desperation engage. But Ocean Soul's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, you can be desperate.
Oh, 3-man ulti, beautiful stuff. Oh no, 2. I think he killed someone with it.
Yeah, so 3-man. It's correct.
2-man and a corpse. As we're going to have a look at exactly what he did.
Front lane, Aatrox? No. Look here. Nice. LeBlanc behind. Aatrox? LeBlanc. Thank you so much.
I heard that one. Saying thank you for critting him in the face before he fell down and put out the pigeon. So appreciation there to Viper as the Baron's up in 25 seconds. Elder Drake in 4 minutes time. Yeah. And Hanwha Life now having control once again. However, they are still missing some inhibitor turrets. So if they lose a fight, I mean, the game's over.
Yeah.
Especially now that it's past 30 minutes.
Yeah, basically it is, and Azir has no flash this time. There is some pressure on Mir right now. He has no Zhonya's as well, so maybe another miracle shuffle is not happening in the game. And right now they have the Ocean Drake. That is just the thing that it makes Hanwha Life Esports stronger. So
much stronger. Yeah, it's very, very scary. Ocean Soul is a big deal.
This is weird positioning though. They're putting 5 men on the top side again, and they're gonna lose mid prior for some reason when they're ahead. Yeah. That is weird.
I guess they don't want to be pincered. They want to try and opt into only team fights, as everyone is just sticking to Viper. They're saying, please carry us in these team fights. You can do it.
I guess they don't want to make any kind of mistakes, I guess. It is true that if they are grouped as 5, they cannot lose at this point.
Well, in goes Kuzan. They're going to turn onto him immediately. The flash out. There's the ace in the hole, but it's not enough to kill the LeBlanc. And now Emperor's Divide is on cooldown. Dynamics
is 4v5,
wanting to wait for the Baron to do as much damage as possible. As Hanwha Life, they're sticking on it. Kuzan's still here, remember. It's a 5 versus 5. Lahens out of the pit, and it's the steal from beyond. The Shen does take down the bear, but the crocodile's also going to be dead. It is an even trade so far, but Doctom is going to fall. It's a double kill for Viper. Kuzan has to get the hell out of there. Rich can't be the hero they're looking for. And now it's a triple. Viper just happy to carry in these team fights. 21-21 is the kill score. Hanwha don't even have a gold lead yet, but they may just win the game right now.
Yeah, he could be the hero if there was no Ocean Drake. The last hit was not able to finish out the Caitlyn, and that's it. That's the game.
See whether Kuzan can be an absolute hero, but I have a feeling you're absolutely correct. I don't know what Dynamics are going to be able to do. Guga's going to be up in 5 seconds time, so it looks like Hanwha aren't actually going to go all the way, but they do get themselves the first inhibitor of the game. And Kuzan. Yeah. Oh, he's going to find Cat there. Ragnarok immediately procced, as he's just going to run away. This game is crazy, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really useless to talk about, yeah, that's the game, you know? Because one team fight is going to change every single thing. And, I mean, basically, Hanwha Esports is building up the better structure because of the Ocean Drake. That's the strong point. Like, even though your positioning is not that great, because of the Ocean Drake, you are fully healed up. And great E flash by Viper right there to finish up the Ashe. And if you didn't have Ocean Drake right there, actually he could finish the... There is no LeBlanc.
There's a lot of traps in here.
Take the next. Look for the fight. We want the fight. We want the fight. Look, Ashe. Nice. LeBlanc.
He was basically attack moving.
Yeah.
Let's be real. And now he's got 6 items. This Caitlyn is just gigantic. 50 CS in the lead as well. 7-2 and 10. 7-4 and 11 for the Ashe, but she's an item behind. I still feel like anyone can win this game at this point. The gold there's 300 gold between them.
Yeah.
And it's just this Ocean Soul that's changing it. But I feel like these fights are so bursty that it's barely even relevant. Especially with, an Executioner's Calling and a Morello now on Dynamics. It's not as much of a problem. As Kuzan looks for Dudu, finds some chains here. As Blade of the Rune King comes down, there's the Mimic chains and the flash has to come out. Could actually be a big deal, especially now with Ragnarok off cooldown. Cad gonna get chained up. Ragnarok comes out again. More flashes. And Dynamics might just be able to turn this into an Elder.
Okay, they can actually look for the end, by the way. The mid wave is there, but they are looking for the fight right here. 5v5.
Yep, there's the flash torn out from Lehans. Is this going to do it for them? As Emperor's Divide lands onto 3. Beyond trying to get into that backline as Kuzan's already got rid of the Shen. But look at the health bars. Cad trying to find the undertows, but it's still a 1 fight for Dynamics, despite the fact that their health bars are so damn low. Honeyfruit, I don't know whether it's quite going to be enough here. As can Beyond do it again. He can! Spites it away, and the Ashe grabs a double kill off the back end. Dynamics, I think they're just going to walk it down and see whether they can win the game from here.
50-50 happened just right away from Hanwha Esports.
And the dredge line. Good night, Mr. Viper.
What was that, by the way? Hanwha Esports, they had the control even though it was 3 versus 4. But they decided to have 50-50 right at the point. And the game
I don't know whether that was the right move we did. And I think that they're going to agree because now they're most likely going to lose the game. 7 seconds on Dudu. I mean, Cad's going to be up in 10 as well. It's only Viper that's not going to be here, and he is the most important member. And they have super creeps coming down the mid lane. Lehens is also going to try and pick up this minion wave, draw it away. And as you can see, there's a minion wave all the way up the other end of Summoner's Rift. I mean, Lehens does fall down there, but he did his job. He's just trying to get rid of minions, and this game's not over yet.
This game is crazy. I just want to stop thinking.
Oh my, well, I mean, I think both of these teams have. This game is just insane, dude.
Yeah, so
I don't
many
know what's going on. Baron's up in a minute.
Yeah, so many 50-50 is happening. I was thinking that maybe Hanwha Esports are gonna just look for the end with the TP on the mid lane, but it didn't happen. Doktan was doing such a great job in this team fight, by the way. He was melting the front lane with a great positioning. But yeah, but it's Caitlyn, right? So they had great situation, but randomly they decide to have a 50-50 right here, and they lost.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
일단 빼야 돼. 일단 빼야 돼.
Let's have a look at what happened here as Beyond
이거. 빨리 먹어라.
gonna check out his point of view.
집 갔다가 해볼 수 있거든.
Take the honey first.
얘네 계속 치거든.
They're keep
오케이,
getting.
연락 뒤에 계속.
We got that. We got the elder.
천천히.
Slowly. They were surprised as well.
Well, so are we. 10 seconds on the Baron. We'll see whether Dynamics go back to it. See whether they can pick that one up. I'd probably be okay with a 50-50 because it feels like Beyond's got his eye in when it comes to these smites. And Kuzan, yeah, he's going to play goalie. I've started this up. And this is late game, right? This Baron does not last very long at all. As Dudu's going to get chunked. He's going to go golden as well, but still going to be a dead Baron, and Dudu has to go back. So no team fights for you, Mr. Crocodile.
TP on the bot side by Reach as well. They are going to look for 3 inhibitors at the same time with the Nasher buff on.
Yeah, Kuzan's clearing out vision where he can. Trap line in. As Viper can actually kill these creeps pretty fast. Especially with the Zia here. But with 3 lanes of super creeps, it's going to be very hard, especially with the Baron buff on top of it.
Can they finally end this game with these 3 inhibitors advantage right now? They have Nasher as well. They just need to wait for minions. And just
remember, this is Ocean Soul as well on Hanwha Live. But still, this Nexus turret is not going to last very long at all. Cad going to get chunked. Kuzan's LeBlanc is so annoying.
Yeah.
First Nexus turret goes down. Hanwha, it's almost time up for them, because if this next Nexus turret falls down, I just feel like a rush of the base will just end the game. It's okay, Hanwha still just staying together, trying to get Viper into the best position possible. Okay, arrow flies out. Immediately, Ragnarok comes through from Cad as Kuzan goes in and executes him. Dudu now with his Ragnarok, but oh my god, the collapse, the destruction! And Dynamics have done it. The Nexus lasts about a couple of seconds. And congratulations, game 1 going over to Dynamics, 53 kills. That was a fiesta, but it was fun. Give you that much.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to say. But one thing is sure. Kuzan, POG, or Riot.
Yeah,
that is true.
I mean, Kuzan should get it, but I wouldn't mind if Beyond got it as well for the amount of smites that he was able to get. I don't know.
Oh my god.
That game was very weird.
I mean, I guess...
Poor Viper, though. That's all I'm saying. Poor Viper.
Yeah, poor Viper. And at the same time, I guess this is the way how LCK enjoys the meaningless game, I guess. Not random picks, but random plays.
Oh my god. Well, I hope we get a game 2 exactly like that, because that was a very long game, but at least it was entertaining, you know, kept us on our toes until the very end. I never knew who was going to win. It's one of the first times I've ever seen an Ocean Soul lose, especially with only 1 measly Ocean Drake on the opposing side. Theoretically, they should have been able to get that one done, but unfortunately for them, they weren't able to. Dynamics just being able to come up clutch in the end, and the defense for Viper just was not there. Looking forward to seeing the damage graph, where Viper did 80% of his team's damage or something like that. Because it did... I mean, Miru had some hero plays as well, but in the end, it didn't matter.
I mean, my game knowledge in this kind of game is not working out, you know? I was like talking about how Esports was leading the game when Dynamics got the miracle team fight, and when I said Dynamics is gonna win the game because of the team comp, Unlife Esports just randomly gets the four Drakes in a row, and like so random, so random. But the outcome is that
super weird.
Yeah, the outcome is that Kuzan is such a great mid laner.
Yeah, and actually, you know, on one of his more famous picks as well in the LeBlanc, so good to see him sort of resurrecting a pick that we haven't really seen too much here in the LCK recently. Feels like she has sort of fallen out of favor. And Rich as well on his signature pick also. Felt like Dynamics utilizing their comfort very well despite what happened throughout a lot of this game, right? Like, I feel like Hanwha were winning until they lost, as this was an infernal chain.
And this was
man.
also a great comeback from Hanwha Live Esports, you know. But so many things are happening.
Yeah. Oh, it was so silly. As at least, you know, there was the Ocean Soul, and I thought from this point on, how to Hanwha Live lose? Especially when Viper's able to free hit here. I mean, 2 people get thrown on top of him, but they were so low health that it didn't actually matter. And like, you look at this fight and you're like, all right, well, Hanwha Live win. No. That's not how that one works.
So let's look up. I mean, this team fight also Hanwha Live Esports won, I guess, but they lost the Nasher. That's the point. I guess Beyond is the POG because he stole Nasher and also stole Elder. Still gone.
Oh man, these highlights go forever.
3-man taunt, but oh yeah, Booger actually hooked a Viper and used the ultimate. That actually made a lot of
sick,
time. Yeah. But actually, I mean, they won the team fight. Still. But yeah, I guess Aatrox was looking for the TP, so that's why they were kind of forced to take the 50-50, because at the end it was 3 versus 5, right? They couldn't finish any targets, so that's why they kind of did the 50-50. But yeah, anyways, 50-50 is not the way you take.
And the sad Zoe goodbye as well. This was the last team fight. I didn't know whether it was going to be the last team fight. It felt like there were a million last team fights in this particular game. But this was the actual one.
Yeah. Good to see it. And actually, Dogtown played so much better than any other series, right? One team fight, his positioning was so great, and that's why they could win the team fight as well. So I think he should get some more spotlight as well.
Yeah, having a look at that gold graph was definitely a little bit crazy. 32k damage for the Aatrox ain't bad either. But I think Azir did a little bit more than I was expecting him to, but that was crazy. I think we're going to expect even more of that coming up. We're going to have a short break, guys, to gather ourselves after that brutal game. We'll be back for our potentially final game of the season very, very shortly. See you soon.